Okay, so this is my first thoughts on this project. This is my dad's old log splitter. He burned wood for a ton of years, and this was kind of a cobbled. It's been homemade by a few different people, and quite a few years ago, he robbed the engine off for something else because he quit burning firewood, went to pellets. And now that I burn firewood out in the garage, I need a splitter, so I went and dug this out of his bone pile. And I don't want to just put another motor on it and leave it as this goofy trailer. I want to cut the wheels, cut probably most of this off, and probably since this end has gotten pretty twisted up, putting too many big old cottonwoods, I'll probably cut this off right here, and then down on this end, I think I can cut this off and just move it down to make up for that, and then cut this hitch off and just put a skid steer. I'm thinking for now I could change on this, but I'm thinking about putting a skid steer plate right here, so as you're sitting in the skid steer, this would be what you would look at. And then because I think you could put it in the back of a pickup that way rather than mounting it on from the side, but we'll see as I go what I decide. And then got some flat face couplers to just plumb right into this valve, and I hope, I haven't looked, I assume that valve can take the flow of a little skid steer. Yeah, so see how it goes from here. Here's my progress. I got the axle cut off. The I-beam is welded onto that quick attach plate. Got some supports. I just had these hoses made today. $208 for those two hoses, plus 40 some bucks for the flat face couplers. I just guessed, and the valve is marked output, so that would be the top male on the skid steer. I just guessed and got that right. So the valve is oriented right, and I'll reuse that piece to mount the valve over here in a comfortable position. I split one log. It splits just fine. Seems to be normal speed. My plan was to save these two hoses that were already on that cylinder, but as soon as I started using it, they started blistering up and just leaking everywhere. So no saving those two. I'll have to fork out some more dough. And then I'm making another kind of a less cobbled version of this, and I'm gonna put it right here, so the whole cylinder will move back, and then cut it right there, move that back. That's my next steps. That took some time on the grinder, but I got that bracket cut out of there, nice and smooth, and I got that big one welded in. Next to start working on that end. I haven't cut the front off yet. I decided to disconnect it and take all the hoses and everything off so I could flip it on its side. And then I'll vertical weld these, because I don't think this is strong enough to flip it upside down yet, because all it has is that weld there and a couple of overhead tacks right here, and I am terrible at overhead stick welding, so these are pretty weak. And now I'll attempt a vertical weld that I hope will hold on both sides, and then I can flip it upside down and do some easier flat welds on here, and there, and then it'll be pretty structurally complete at the back. I got the blade this blade cut off of there. Man, I'm pretty impressed with this 60 volt DeWalt grinder. It took, the first battery was almost fully charged, and then this is the second battery. Still got 2 bars, and I mean that was a lot of weld to cut off there. And that was a new 6-inch blade. So that's all the blade it took, I guess. And yeah, I really like these 6-inchers. I mean, it probably would have taken 2 4-inchers to do the, or even more. And then once you wear this down a couple inches, you still have a 4-inch blade. So I think those 6-inch blades are the way to go. All right, now this is about how far forward it's going to go. So I'll just cut that off there. I got the bottom boxed in there all the way around, and the blade's kind of tacked in one little base bead there. And I just got this air needler, but it works awesome for, see, in here you're never going to get a wire brush in there good or grinder or anything, but this you can just clean all your beads in there. So yeah, that came in pretty handy. And down in this corner is the same. It's hard to get in there. not the fastest ram speed